All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing you today, I am going to bring you my personal top 3 ways to make gold in the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, there are multiple different ways to make gold. There's a lot of different ways to go about collecting gold that you need for PvE, your trial equipment, PvP, whatever. But I'm just going to show you my top 3 that I enjoy doing the most because of how easy it is, because of what I like to do. So with that being said, let's dive into it. The video you're watching, I am on my PC account, which is lower level, and I'm doing my writs. My number one best way to collect gold is doing your writs. It is by far the easiest thing to do. You do not need to be level 50 in order to get rewards for doing your writs. You just need to fill out the surveys, accept the quest, and then they'll make you a master writ, whatever freaking person. But anyways, let's get down to the numbers. If you have for each max CP character, if you do all of the writs available to you, you will make roughly 5k gold per character per day. Now, for me, since I mostly only PvP, I do woodworking, I do blacksmithing, I do clothing, I do jewelry, and I typically do alchemy. So I do 5. I typically don't do food because I already have one character that does food, and it gives me more than enough for what I need. I have one character that does enchanting that gives me more than enough for what I need. But if you do those as well, you'll jump up to 5k per day. I get roughly a little over 3k. This is me doing 4 writs on my max level character. And so you'll see that I'll get like roughly 2.6k. If I did alchemy, like I said, it would jump over 3.2. With the intricates, it's 3.5 per day, roughly. So if you do writs on every max level character every single day, and let's say you have 10 characters, you will make 30k gold doing the amount that I do per day. If you do every single writ on all characters, you will get 50k gold per day. If you do that every day for the week, that is anywhere from 210,000, which is what I get, to 350,000 gold per week, just signing on, doing your writs, and logging off. Especially starting out on a new account, you're going to be upgrading your mount speed anyways, which is what you see me doing. I upgrade my mount, I go do my writs. That's just part of my daily routine when I'm leveling an account or leveling a character. I do the writs, I upgrade the mount speed. You're going to want it anyways in PvP. You don't want to get knocked off your horse. You don't want to get ganked. Super easy to do. So on top of that, when you do your writs, you occasionally get these things called writ surveys. And you can go to this area and you collect the nodes and you can refine it. You can get materials, gold materials, all these other sorts of things. So not only do you get a flat 210,000 to 350,000 gold per week doing your writs, you also get gold mats. You also get purple mats, blue mats, and just crafting materials in general. Now, when I was doing my writs on Xbox, and this is Xbox, take it for what it is. Different prices may vary across different platforms, but I was getting, if I sold everything, I was getting another 200 to 400k gold per week selling if I sold everything. That's counting the chromium platings, that's counting tempering alloys, drew wax, all these sorts of things. So the more writs you do, the more surveys you collect. For me, I was collecting anywhere from 20 to 40 surveys per week if I was diligent in doing it on my 10 to 12 characters. And then that would turn, like I said, if I sold everything, I was essentially making roughly 500,000 gold a week, not in just flat gold, but in materials. Now keep in mind, why do you want gold in this game anyways? Probably to buy materials for upgrading. Whether you're buying the purple or the golds or whatever, generating them on your own and not paying for them is a way to have your gold go a longer way. And so that's another reason that I do writs, is because if I'm going to play multiple characters and if I'm going to test a bunch of builds for you guys and post a bunch of different things on YouTube, I need to make sure I have my gold mats incoming. I need to make sure I can test some things. I need to make sure that I have stuff incoming to where I can do it and I can, test things that I want. A lot of PvPers, they just hop into PvP and they run, the green potions, the blue potions that you get with your assault rank stuff. And, honestly, if you just took 5 minutes a day on each character and did your writs, you would it'd be a better allotment of your time. You'd get more materials, your character would be stronger because you could use different potions. So those are my thoughts. That's my number one way starting out to make gold in Elder Scrolls is to do your writs. It's super easy. There's no skill cap, like you could do it. Oh, and the final thing, when you get your writ surveys, if you do it on a lower level character like I do, transfer your writ surveys to your max level crafter. This is very important. Transfer your surveys to your max level crafter so that when you go to collect your writs, you get the max level gear. If you collect your writs on your lower level character, you will get the lower level materials. You want the higher level materials because they'll sell for more, all those sorts of things. So that's what I do. Number 2, I go to Imperial City now, and I farm Telvar. Now that some people, this isn't going to be for everybody because not everybody likes the PvP. Not everybody is proficient at PvP, so farming bosses isn't always easy. But I like Imperial City because if you kill people, you get Telvar, and Telvar equals gold. If nobody's in Imperial City and you're by yourself and you take every single district and nobody's showing up down there and you have the 10,000 Telvar with multiplier with every district, killing one district boss will yield you 14,000 something stones. 14,000 stones typically go anywhere, depending on what you're selling. You can get anywhere from, if you're patient, you can get 5 to 1. If you just want to flip them really quickly, you can get 2 to 1. So each district you kill a boss, it's almost 30,000 gold. It's like 29,000 gold that you can get super easy and flip. And now this is reliant on you being diligent and being able to farm and protect your Telvar yourself. But whether or not you farm the bosses yourself or you farm the people farming the bosses, via gank build and taking their stones, Telvar is the most fun way to make gold. You collect Telvar and then you sell the materials, or you just keep the alchemy, you collect the alchemy bags yourself so that you don't have to go and buy flowers. Regardless, Imperial City is a great way to make money and PvP at the exact same time. So that's my second favorite thing to do. And by far, I think this is the most popular and the most efficient way to make gold currently in Elder Scrolls. It's Murchieting. Murchieting is a way of flipping gear that's already in guild traders and making a profit off of other people's mistakes. Now, I'm not going to go into what I currently do because obviously, guys, I have a YouTube channel. If I tell you exactly what I do and you guys all go and flood the market, I'm no longer going to make gold off of the things that, I'm currently making gold off of. So I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks so that you can go out and do the exact same thing that I do. So with this way to make gold, which is by far the most efficient, you need gold to make gold. And so what you do is you go to each area, you go to Stormhaven, you go to all these different guild traders, and you check the guild traders for prices, or for gear set pieces, for materials, for whatever that's at a much lower price than what it's selling for. Now, typically what I do is, if I go on Xbox, Xbox has a couple of apps that you can download on your phone, which will tell you what the average price is for gear. And so I'm not going to tell you anything I do now, but what I was doing, roughly a year ago is, for example, Alessian order pieces, or Alessian pieces were going for 40 to 60K. For off trades, it was 40K easy. For impen, it was 60 to 70K, and people were selling them in the guild trader for 5 to 10K a piece. So I would go around to every single guild trader, and I would pick up a Lessian, and I would flip it, and I would sell it for 50K in my guild trader because that's what it was going for, and I would make 40K per piece. I made millions of gold off of just the Lessian pieces. So that's just one thing. It's not that way anymore, but that's just an idea. So what I recommend you do is, if you have guild traders and if you have these Xbox apps, if you have a PC and you can look at and see what the prices are, you go in and you scoop up stuff that's going well underneath the price. Now, this is risky. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to make gold off it. Sometimes, the market gets flooded really quickly. People catch on. But what I do is, I read the patch notes, as you guys know, as you're very, very aware of. And I look at new sets that might be powerful. And I go, okay, well, this might be a good set. I watch Outcast, and when Outcast comes out with a new set and he says, hey, Deadly Strike is going to be the new PvE DPS, stamina DPS set that you must have, go out and get it. Guess what I'm spending my AP on? I'm going to go out and I'm going to get deadly pieces. I'm going to go sell the daggers. I'm going to go sell the axes. I'm going to sell the divine body pieces, the rings, whatever. And I'm going to make gold off them. If all of a sudden, a popular YouTuber on, let's say Zdan posts a build and he's now running, some unique set, maybe he's coming out and he's like, you know what, I'm going to run the new Curse Eater on my Magic and Nightblade, and he posts Curse Eater. Well, I'm going to go invest in some boxes and I'm going to sell Curse Eater because now somebody has, brought to light the strength of a set, and now people are going to invest in it. So these sorts of things are stuff you could do. And so if you see that, you're selling Curse Eater for 100K a piece, and you go into the guild traders and you see them, somebody selling them for 10K, scoop them up and flip them. Scoop up those pieces, flip them, and make your profit. Some people, and this shouldn't be you, because at this point you should be doing your writs and you should be comfortable on gold as it is. Some people just need a quick buck, and they know that they're strapped for cash, and they're not patient enough to wait to reap the maximum value rewards. So they're just like, you know what, 10K right now, I don't give a shit. I just need 10K. I need it sold today. They don't care what the exact price is. They just need the 10,000 value. Don't be that guy. Do your writs. Make sure you have some gold coming in so for your everyday stuff, you can get it done. But then, you can wait on selling this gear. And now, with this, you do need guild traders. You do need to have guild traders to flip this stuff. But whether it's flowers, whether it's gear, whether you see that all of a sudden the price, the housing market, the market for furnishing is wild. I don't really get involved in it, but some of those diagrams can go for a shit ton of gold. 500K plus, 1 million plus. And so if you know what some of these diagrams are and what some of these diagrams go for, you can go and search for them. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, I obviously don't know which diagrams are the most valuable right now, but if you want to make a ton of gold, those are the best ways, in my opinion, to go about doing it. If you're good with merchanting and you travel around and you know, eventually this takes practice. The more I start off with like 3 benchmarks. So let's say all of a sudden Briarheart comes out and it's going to be 1,000 weapon damage. It's not, but let's just say it is. So if all of a sudden it's 1,000 weapon damage on Briarheart's value is going to go up. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to scoop up a bunch of Briarheart. If Alessian was still valuable, I'm going to go out and scoop up Alessian. I'm going to find 2 or 3 sets that I know the value of, and I'm slowly going to flip it, and those are what I'm going to look for. I'm going to search each guild trader for them, and then I'm going to buy the pieces, and then I'm going to flip them, and I'm slowly going to branch out. So maybe I start with Alessian, Briarheart, and whatever, and then I slowly go into Fury, and I go into 7th Legion, and I go into these, and I check the prices for those, and I just find sets that are constantly being sold at a decent value. Maybe Brightthroat, maybe Alfiq, whatever. And I go out and I say, okay, well, these pieces are going for 40K a piece. I found some for 10. I'm going to flip them, So eventually you'll get to a point, if you do it diligently, where you'll just know prices and you'll know what you're selling your prices for, and you'll see something, you'll be like, oh, that's a good thing to sell. Obviously this is way more in depth. I can't tell you, everything you need to know on these. This is you doing your own homework and figuring it out. But you can easily make 1 million gold per day if you're diligent and if you find the right set pieces. I've made well over $1 million, 1 million gold in a day, just finding the right pieces that were underpriced and flipping them. And I'm definitely not into making a shit ton of gold. I make gold so that I can PvP. I'm not one of those guys that goes out and tries to collect hundreds of millions of gold just so I can have it. Some people really enjoy doing that. That's not me. But if you are that type of person, that's what these people are doing. They're going out and they're merchanting, they're doing their writs, they're collecting. And now all of a sudden, they see maybe they're sitting on 30 million gold, and they see, that there's not a whole lot of temps out there, and they corner the market on tempering alloys. And they buy all the tempering alloys that are available, and they reflip the prices. And so there's all these different marketing things that you can go about doing to adjust and influx the prices on different things. You know, you can question whether or not that's moral or not, but at the end of the day, it's making gold. So that's just what the market is. You can play the market, or you can choose not to, whatever. But those are my top three: doing Ritz, Telvar, and Murchieting. Murchieting is by far the most efficient. It's by far the best to do, but you need gold to do it. And if you don't have gold to do it, I definitely recommend doing Ritz, playing Imperial City, and collecting Telvar. So that's going to be the end of this video. Hopefully it was informative. As I said, there's multiple other ways to collect gold. These aren't the only ways I go about doing it, but these are my top three. I get a PvP while doing it, or it takes a minimal amount of time like doing Ritz, or it takes a minimal amount of time for the reward like doing Murchieting. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you have your own tips to make gold, please provide it in the section below. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to figure out how to self-sustain and how to get their all gold gear, because they think that gold gear is the most important thing in the world, and that's fine if you believe that, but it's not hard to go out and get these mats. It's not hard to get the stuff upgraded and be a powerhouse in PvP or in PvE or whatever. So this is what all the other players that play diligently are doing. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.